Welcome to day 6 of the Intelligentsia Cup. This is Brookfield. It's a B-shaped course. You can see we come through the start-finish straight here. Nice long start-finish out of a tight corner. Early on, we had Hugo attack pretty much right as I got to the front. So we just kind of watched him roll, and he was going pretty fast. And then Robin Carpenter actually bridged to him, and Miami Blazers missed out on the move, so they were trying to send guys across right there. Tanner Ward had actually attacked, and then I just saw we had a gap, and so I sent it to try and bridge up to what you'll be able to see here is Kaler trying to bridge also to Carpenter and Hugo. They're just going through that first corner there. I looked back and saw the field was on me, and so I kind of sat up through this corner. But it was pretty much that for the rest of the race, where Blazers would attack, like Tanner's doing here. Either us or Legion or both would tag their move and then just kind of sit up and stop anything from going across. Blazers didn't really put together a concerted chase. They were just trying to get a guy into the move instead of pulling it back in. This course was such that you could pretty much roll a break, and it was hard to chase back too easily. This is me kind of coming hot into a corner. Mido also missed a move, so they were attempting a few times to send a guy up, and then I think they just kind of realized it was coming to a field sprint for the last three. Here's Riley Sheehan on the left. He actually came up to me and asked if I knew how to take Sram out of crash mode, because I think early on his derailleur went into crash mode. He actually finished in a single speed, which was pretty funny. He got a big old preem in his little single speed at like 120 RPM, which I found pretty entertaining. Here we are with another Blazers monk trying to bridge to the move. He would look back and see the fields on him, and then pretty much sit up. So you'd end up with little groups like this where a gap would form, and then it just come right back together. Monk's a little toasted here after this attack, so he would leave a gap into the corner and then just rail the corner at pretty high speed, and then just kind of close it down through the corner, saving a lot of energy here. I was following him for a lap or two of this, and it was pretty nice. We were chilling in the middle of the pack, just letting caps open and doing a little tail gunning action. Here, I had a good bit of momentum. Normally, if I didn't have a teammate up, I would have just sent it through that gap, but Hugo's up there, so I sit up through the gap and kind of try and take space so nobody else sends it across, or makes the move that much harder. We kept the break on a really close leash. I guess the two guys up there, Hugo and Carpenter, were just kind of rolling easy, and then the field was attacking, but there was no consistent pace from it. Here Sean sends the inside. I was kind of looking back at my guys when he did that, so had a little wheel overlap, and luckily nothing crazy happened because of it. When you send the inside of that corner, it can push guys to the outside, and there Ty kind of pinched me between him and Sam, so you do have the opportunity to lose momentum or gain a few spots in that corner. This one, on the other hand, was too wide most of the time, and you could chop people pretty easily into the outside that first corner. They're pretty sharp corners there, but we would start bringing a train up. Here I'm fighting with Aviators for the Legion train. I've got Cade on my wheel, at least. Maybe Sam and Ethan were there as well. But right here, Mr. Iman and I are just butting heads right behind the Legion train, and then he's got his teammate Lucas here to kind of push me out of that, which I would eventually just hop on their wheel. Eventually we were trying to ride beside the Legion train, not really taking wind from them. So I'm going to find Cade here and just move him up next to this train just to kind of get out of the swarm, save a little energy for him, keep him a little more safe. And then Kyle was giving me a little bit of space, but I think Magner wanted to be the one to hold that Miami Blazers wheel while they were trying to pull it back as much as they could. They did get it pretty close by the end. So Magner and Kyle switch there. And then Cory's going to come up on the inside, and this is actually a pretty good move by them to kind of get our train shut out. Cory would take the inside and then just push me all the way to the curb, so I lose momentum there, and then kind of opens up spots for their guys to come through as well. Also for Riley to send the inside, coincidentally, with Reinhardt there. So we would just try and roll next to the Legion train, keep our guys out of trouble, keep it a little more steady pace as much as we could, and they were giving us a little bit of space there, but other people would kind of dive bomb. There's Ethan just kind of following the momentum up and through into that corner, and other people are going to follow you through to that. Usually when you're on the train, you want to try and stop that swarm from happening, specifically to your train, where you want to take the space up but not pass your guy, just kind of choke up on their hip. And then we're coming into a few laps to go. We may be 3 or 4 laps to go. So the pace is actually slowing down once Blazers is losing momentum, and Aviators is going to take up the front a little bit too. Yeah, the pace is real slow right now, and I think Legion's deciding it's time to go ahead and take the pacing up just to try and keep that gap to Carpenter and Hugo, but also to keep their guys out of this mess. And so they're going to take up that spot, kind of asking Cory for a little space there, and trying to hold on to Cory's wheel. Monk's really good at defending, holding a wheel. You can see him in the Stars and Stripes gloves right there, and he'll actually push me all the way to the inside, which on that corner was a pretty good tactic. And you can actually see Sean there gets through with him, just because I have to check up a little bit. Ended up getting back on his wheel. I think the guys are still on mine, so I'm gonna go to the inside with my dudes, just try and stay a little farther forward. But Sam Morris on my team is actually up in the front and follows a move there, which would end up sticking pretty well. So he would end up sprinting for second place. Here's the last corner. You can see Monk push me real far inside, and then I kind of have Cade and Ethan on my wheel, so I gave them what I could, and then they had to come around. I think they ended up getting like a top 10 or something. And Sam was in second, and Sam was in third. Hugo was in second, so 2 podiums for the guys on this day. I think I ended up rolling in like 30th or something like that, just after those efforts at the end. But good day for the guys. Not quite on the top step yet, but riding a little better as a team, able to stay in that, I guess, courageous end of the race kind of at the end. So should be good building into the next few days when we've got a few more guys coming in, and gonna send it a little harder. Thanks. See ya.